Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and we are back on Monria. It's a couple days after St. Patrick's Day. Actually, I think it's 2 days after St. Patrick's Day. And so I'd come to Monria to participate in the parade, and so I slept through it. That's what happens when you're getting ready for final exams. But it is what it is, you know? You can't win them all. You kind of get over it. I'll try to make sure I'm here on time for next year. I didn't plan ahead well enough. The Monria Parade is a huge amount of fun. It's utter bedlam at the end. It's a blast. It is an absolute blast. And Ant and DME and all of the rest of the Virtual Sense team do just an outstanding job every single year, which is why I'm actually really irritated that I missed it. Because the last 2 years I've made the parade, and it has been nothing but fun. So I hope that you all made the parade when the parade happened. If not, make sure you mark your calendars for next year. It's always the weekend after St. Patrick's Day. And then, of course, there's this huge hunting and mining event that takes place afterward that lasts the whole weekend. And it's a lot of fun because if you get, your biggest globals, you can win all kinds of prizes. And they brought the Codex to Monria too. So let's get Shoggoth on. Oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong planet here. Why is only Calypso showing when I'm on Monria? That's interesting. Unless it's part of Calypso. I know Monria is a... It is. Okay. Monria is a moon of Calypso, so it works a little differently. So because it's a moon, they've got a different contract. A lot of their stuff is integrated with Calypso. So that's good to know. That's why I haven't heard about Monria going Codex, because they've probably been Codex for quite a while. It was just integrated with Calypso's. Good information to have. But yeah, no, it's been a chaotic week and a half. All kinds of things. As the final week of school is going on, that information dropped on Thursday. We're getting ready for finals, which is next week. I'm not really worried about finals. I never really had test taking anxiety. I'm more worried about current events and the fact that, inflation's completely out of control, but that's just me. So, unfortunately, just turned out I missed the parade. Shame on me. I will say this, I'm probably going to be on Monria for a while. I was on Cyrene for a little under 3 months. I showed up there just before Christmas. I will head off to do Easter Mayhem now that St. Patrick's Day is over. I don't think it's open yet. Let's see. No, it's not open yet, but I do intend to participate in Easter Mayhem. I was vacillating, but screw it. It's too much fun not to participate. And I missed out on several Mayhems last year, so I'm almost positive that's going to happen. And with this term being over before Easter Mayhem, that was really a big deciding factor. Boy, the Shogs are really being hunted. Not surprising, it's a huge hunting event. If I was smart, I would have stopped by Calypso, picked up a couple swords, and I'd be hunting something a little bit bigger. Yogs are a good one, but here's the thing. I have part 2, chapter 2. I'm missing 1, 3, and 4. And so that's really why I'm here. Well, besides the fact that Monria is awesome. I want to finish this quest up. I was split. Do I come to Monria and finish up the 4 chapters, or do I go to Toulon and try to bang out a frickin' apartment? And that's a tough decision to make. I mean, this will always be here. Those apartments are kind of temporary. But the rarity of those drops, on purpose and for good reason, makes getting the apartments very, very expensive and difficult. And so that factored in. It was like, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'll at least be on Monria for St. Patrick's Day. If I'm on too long sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, don't be surprised. But I kind of missed Monria. I ain't been here in like 3 years. So I think it's a good time to come back and just get into the groove and enjoy things. Wow, that was really quick. What do they have for rewards? Really small amounts. Not surprising. This is the really basic mob. We'll go with athletics. So yeah. For those of you who are new to my channel, actually, I didn't even do my intro. We've already gotten started, but if you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, 1 subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. If you do, you'll get exclusive content. I will be putting together March's exclusive very, very soon. Once exams are over, I have most of a week. I'll be getting some back work done during that time. I know I owe you all some Boneworks videos. I know I owe you all some videos from Champions of Norrath. I'm sure my patrons are getting kind of impatient for... Well, no, my patrons are extremely patient with me, but I'm sure they're kind of anxious to see some of that. So that's all in the plan in the next 2 weeks or so. We'll see what happens, what materializes, and go from there. And I do want to kind of side note something, and this is because on this video we're going to play with some B-roll stuff, right? Never done stuff like that before. Don't do a lot of editing, as you know. The whole Boneworks series is the first time we've moved into the editing sphere and tried some stuff out and separated voiceover from video, and I did the Phase 1 challenge, and that was a whole thing. You know, there's a lot of new going into this, and I'm mixing some face cam stuff with some non-face cam stuff, and the reason why is I'm trying to get better at the skill, right? Let's be facing it. 1,000 videos in. A lot of them have been fairly basic. It is what it is. It's gotten you all to decide to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I recognize it's time for me to get better at this art, if this is an art I want to pursue. So we're going to include some B-roll. And basically what it is yesterday, after work, I decided to go pick a couple of things up from Perro's Gun Shop in Waterbury, Vermont. And for those of you who have been following me for more than 5 minutes, you all know that I am a gun person. And so there were a couple of things I needed. A cleaning kit for my 1911. And I wanted to get some reusable earplugs because the over-the-ear ones interfere when you're shooting a rifle. So like as you can see on this tune, the lighting's kind of dark because it's Monria. You know what? Let's see if we can bring the brightness up just a little bit just for this particular example. So, as you can see where the rifle is, if you're trying to actually aim down the scope, your cheek pretty much has to lay on the stock. That's pretty standard. Of course, this is a video game, so I'm more pointing and clicking, plus I've got a laser sight, which helps. That being said, in real life, you'd have your eye down the scope so you can look through the optics so that you can peg Robert Redstone in the head. I'm joking, Robert. So I went there in order to get the earplugs so that I'm not interfering with the hearing protection when I'm shooting my rifle, my AR-15. And I got the cleaning kit. I went unsupervised. These are what I went to Perro's to buy. This is what I came home with. I'm never allowed in that store unsupervised ever again. Yeah. Okay. So, needless to say, that was not planned. But if you're ever in Vermont, if you're not a Vermonter yourself, which I would venture a guess, I would be surprised if more than a handful of you actually live in Vermont. I know I've got some friends that follow my channel. Perro's Gun Shop, fantastic place. It's got an indoor range. If you're a gun person, if you're not a gun person, actually, if you're not a gun person, I would recommend you go. I do believe they give some basic lessons there, just so that you can be exposed to it. And this is something I encourage for everyone, especially if you live in the United States, where firearms are a common thing. You know, except in certain states where they have very questionably legal laws, or I should say laws of questionable constitutionality. That's more accurate. You should at least be exposed and understand the firearm, because it is your right to carry. And whether you go to Perro's and Water, and this isn't a sponsored spot, by the way. I'm not cool enough to have sponsorships. This is just me relating my experience there. But it's one of those things where if this is something that if you're in a country where firearms use is classified as a right, which it is, because self-defense is always a right, but a lot of countries don't recognize that, and I recognize that fact. It is useful for you to have some exposure and some experience. And so I would encourage it. You know, do a safety course, talk to instructors. Even if you don't touch them or interact with them directly, expose yourself to them, because all it is a tool. There. That's my soapbox for the day. You know, there's one thing about getting back to Monria. There's something about Monria that I really enjoy. And it's something that I think I feel is underappreciated about this planet. And that is, there's only 4 mobs. That's not accurate. I'm sorry. First off, there's 5. But on the same token, there's only 5 basic mobs. And they've basically done the Diablo-style reskinning thing, where you have 5 basic mobs and they just reskin and rename them for certain levels. So, like, you've got all the Shoggoths, and they're lower level, and they're designed to be your beginner mob, which is why I'm able to hunt them with the Barbarella and not have a big deal. I really hope that Monria comes out with a whip, specialized whip that's like the Cthulhu strand or something like that. I think that would be hilarious. But realistically, you hunt with the Barbarella, or you hunt with your even your Rubios, and you'll have good luck with it, and you'll do really well here. Monria is a zero-tax planet, or moon, which means that, from what I'm given to understand, with the exception of decay, 100% of the ped you dump into a mob, you will get back. And DME, of course, is free to correct me on this. I know that she occasionally will happen by my videos, especially when Monria's tagged, because she's probably the best community manager you will find on this platform, or on any platform, and I'm not just saying that. Like, lots of outreach to creators, even baby creators like me, tiny creators, I should say. I've been doing this a while. I'm not a baby creator anymore, but I am small. The 5 regular mobs are the Shoggoth, the Yogg, the Cultist, the Shub, and the Leprechaun. And all of the other mobs are basically reskins of one of those 5 mobs. And of course, you can tame the Leprechaun and the Yogg. Yoggs have to be tamed from inside the cave. I don't believe there are any tameable Yoggs out on the over part of the moon. And I'm cool with that. So, but it is a lot of fun being here, and it's a lot of, this is, the reason it's good, one, you can focus better, right? Each mob has a classification where your level kind of fits within your level scheme, right? First, you start with the Shoggoth, then you move on to the Yoggs. Shoggoth, Yogg, Cultist, Shub. And as you get better, the bigger the mob you can take on. And it's a range of levels that you can use in order to take on the mobs. So, like right now, I'm just doing some low-level shit. So I'm hunting Shoggoth, which might be the most horrifically ugly things in the entire platform. And Calypso can give it a run for... Can usually give mobs a run for their money when it comes to ugly, like, horrifying mobs. I mean... Where is it? I mean, let's be facing it. What's more horrifying than this thing? Especially since we all know that the Avatar's head doesn't even come up to the bottom of its fucking toe. So... And then you've got this thing, which is just terrifying. But this monstrosity, like, especially since the graphics upgrade, like, this is horrifying before. You can check out some of my older Monria videos. It was horrifying before. Now it's just bleh. But it's supposed to be. This is a Cthulhu environment, and they did a really good job with it. But you come here, you low-level hunt these abominations upon God. Or I guess this is Entropia Universe, so abominations unto Ludius. And then, once you get up to a high enough level, you move on to fighting Yogs. And the Yogs are also a blast. I already got the scroll from them, which is why we're hunting Shoggoth. That, and we're going to get some of these Codex missions out of the way. Just like we kind of tried to on Cyrene. But the, apparently the Codex missions on Cyrene are far more brutal. Although, admittedly, lower level mob, easier to go through Codex. It's what it's designed for. I've got my little Spartan chasing me. Full disclosure, the Spartan was purchased. It was on the auction that the Titans of Space held sometime last year. The same one where they tried selling off a Pathfinder ship. I think it was a Pathfinder. It was either a Pathfinder or a Starfinder. It was a privateer. It was the smaller of the capital ships, which, jealous. Oh, the Dunwich Horrors appeared. We're not in the area, unfortunately, and I'm not prepared to face the Dunwich Horror at this time. Actually, usually the Dunwich Horror gets taken down pretty quickly. But I believe the respawn rate on them is raised for this particular event. Which makes sense because, you know, it's St. Patrick's Day. Of course the Dunwich Horror is going to show up more often. So yeah. No, we're back on Monria. We're going to be here for a while, I think. Even if we aren't, if we skip town in order to do Easter Mayhem, or if we hop to Toulon, Monria is going to be a long-term area for at least a portion of the year. And IMO, no time like the present. It's been a while since this moon's gotten love from this channel. It's 2 years, I think, in fact. I think it was... Did I come here in 2001? Or was it 2020? I don't remember. Maybe it's only been a full year and a quarter. Maybe it's only been a year and a quarter. But still, that's a long time. I think I left just after St. Paddy's Day last year, so I'll correct myself. It's been about a year. But instead of basking in the pale moonlight, we'll be on the pale moonlight. I don't know what I was thinking with that. So. Okay. We're going to get ourselves up to rank 5, and then we'll collect as we move back to DSEC. And I'm going to see what content we can come up with for Monria this time. As you can see, I'm working on starting to edit a little bit more, spend a little bit more time on the videos. It's not going to be perfect. I'm doing my best. But as we work toward this and figure this stuff out, my hope is that the quality of video will go up and you all will have a more enjoyable experience. Please comment below on your opinions on this. I'd love to hear your feedback. I try to reply. I'm not always successful, but sometimes it's kind of the way it is. So, someone left their mining, like, why would you leave your mining thing there? That deed only lasts like an hour. Collect that shit. That's your ore. Please. I can't steal it. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a mechanic where, like, if you abandon a mine deed, then, like, Mindark auctions it off starting at 1 peck or some stupid thing? So you have the chance to purchase it once it expires. And if no one gets it after the hour, then Mindark just keeps it. You know, just have that extra opportunity to go claim. I think that would be really cool. And there's rank 5. Okay, let's move back toward D-Sec, and we're going to find out what we got for rewards. Going back to our Shoggoth. Perception. We'll do courage this time. Okay. And evade will be on the next one. Most excellent. I remember how to get back. Is it in here? Maybe? I am on top of it. I got myself lost. One shot, one kill. Almost there. This is it. Okay, good. I thought it was a cliff for a second there. That would have been bad. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate all of your support. Huge shout out to my patrons, as always, and we will see you in the next one.